And Danny Roman getting his
My
props
bad.
from Fulton for a gutsy effort, and there are many reasons why what transpired tonight did. Stephen Fulton feels he did way more than enough to remain unbeaten and a unified champion, but Al, he continued to show us more.
Yeah, you know, most people coming into this fight would not have expected. We were anticipating.
All right, let's talk for a minute. I'm watching the rebroadcast of Stephen Fulton defending his WBC and WBO 122-pound titles last night. Here's the punch stats, by the way, for those who need to see them. Pause it if you have to. 218 of 603 for Fulton, 113 of 673 for Danny Roman. Clear shutout, maybe one round for Danny Roman. The worst outboxing he's ever got in his career. And it was, my bad, I got the wrong person up here. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. You know, I do believe that Stephen Fulton should be pound for pound. However, I did have him losing to Brandon Figueroa because he let Brandon Figueroa not outskilling, but outworking. And in this boxing, you know, boxing is about points. So now the question is, will we get undisputed? He has 2 of the 4 major belts, the WBC and the WBO. Danny Roman, former Philly, on the, what was it? I believe he opened up a restaurant in Chester. I think it was before the pandemic. I wonder if it's still there. Chester, PA, about 45 minutes outside of Philadelphia. Let's listen to the particulars and talk about what's next and what's possibly next. Because if we do get to see him versus WBA IBF champion Mirza Akhmadaliev, the last person to beat Danny Roman, then I think Stephen Fulton would win. Let's turn it up.
The name of the winner on...
By the way, take your time out, like the video, subscribe. I'm a little off, you know, it's early, 11:22, actually 42 is, you know, but I was up until about 4 a.m. covering boxing last night.
Action, we have a unanimous decision here. The totals. Judge at ringside Nathan Palmer scores about 119 to 109. Judges Patrick Morley and Mike Fitzgerald both scored about 120 to 108. All 3 in favor of the winner. And still the undefeated, unified WBC and WBO 122-pound champion of the world, Cool Boy Stephen Fulton Jr.
According to Boxing Scene, there was 40, little under 4,700 in attendance.
A dominant win, and now Brian Campbell is in the ring with him.
That's a max for that arena.
Fulton Jr. Stephen, there was some thought this could be a potential fight of the year contender like your victory over Brandon Figueroa, but there were long stretches you made this look easy. What type of statement did you make?
Alhamdulillah, first and foremost, all praise be to Allah. I made a hell of a statement tonight, you know. I prepared for this. I told you I was going to make it easy and fight depending on how I wake up, and I woke up feeling good.
When you fought Brandon Figueroa, he did have success to the body. You seem to take that away from Danny Roman by controlling distance. How important was that to your victory?
It was very important, and like I said before, in the last outing with Brandon Figueroa, I didn't have the energy. I didn't make the weight the right way. So shout out to Josh Sasson, my dietitian.
You controlled this bout, but Roman did.
And that's going to be one of my points, too. We're going to talk about that.
Yet you closed the round by turning southpaw, stunning him with a big left hand. Could you feel the momentum potentially shifting?
For sure. And any moment he had, I took it right away from him. I neutralized the threat.
In round 11, you stood in the middle of that ring and started to walk him down. What did you see to make that decision?
I seen him start, like, he been slowing down, but I feel like the more I kept boxing, the more I just got a little tired of boxing. That like me trying to walk forward to him wasn't going to happen all the time. But I definitely seen him slowing down. I wanted to stop me, but I didn't get that.
Your 2021 puts you in the Fighter of the Year conversation. Do you believe this is the victory that puts you in the top 10 pound for pound conversation?
I've been in the top 10. I don't care what their list is. I've been top 10. I'm the only fighter that became world champion in 2021 and then unified at the end of the year. Four undefeated fighters back to back to back. 2 of them was world champion. Nobody did that. Nobody. And I was in Fight of the Year contests with Canelo, and I'm at the smaller weight class.
You're on a run of huge success. Undisputed season has become a thing in this sport. What is next for Cool Boy Steph?
Y'all already know what that is. I got to. We got to finish this out. But much respect to Daniel Roman. Much respect. And I just want to thank my team. Thank Coach Morrell. My big guy right here from out LA. He helped me much. Mr. Chua himself. My father is in my corner. My big brother Wahid. Sam Watson. I got a hell of a team.
Congratulations on a thorough and convincing victory.
Appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
Let's bring in Danny Roman. Danny, it didn't go your way tonight. How much do you believe the career-long layoff coming in affected it?
There's no excuse, you know. I think this fight proved who's the best 122 super bantamweight fighter of the division. And Fulton did it tonight, you know. He proved it. I wish him the best. Go achieve what I couldn't achieve. Be undisputed. Wish you the best. Like I say, you know, this fight showed who's the best in the division. And that's Fulton. Fulton was a better man tonight.
How was he the better man tonight? What did he do specifically that gave you so much trouble?
He knew how to use his distance. It was hard for me to adjust to his distance because he was boxing, and he came in, came out. So he changed the boxing style. So it was a little bit hard for me to adjust.
You've now put on entertaining fights with both unified champions in this division. What do you think Fulton's performance tonight says about his chances to hold all 4 world titles?
Oh, like I say, you know, this fight against me, he was gonna show who's the best in the division, you know, and I wish him the best. So achieve what I couldn't achieve.
Thank you so much, Danny.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's send
and
it back
MJ
to ringside.
Akhmadaliev is the fighter they're talking about who.
All right, let's talk. Yeah, well, when you fight somebody like Brandon Figueroa, you got to do a lot of moving because his goal is to go out there to outwork you. You know, no disrespect to Brandon Figueroa, very tough fighter. Him and his brother Omar fight the same. Omar is supposed to be fighting Adrian Browne, by the way, July 23rd. That sounds like an excellent fight. Here is the scores. And you know, yeah, in a rematch with Brandon Figueroa, I think that Stephen Fulton can win. You know, but he's got to do a lot of moving. And he, as you can see, he said, you know, his cardio's got to be straight. Because I'm going to tell you, I think he lost that fight. He got outworked. But when it comes to being undisputed and defeating this guy right here, who I've covered multiple times in the past, he's fighting in a couple of weeks on the zone against Ronnie Rios in a fight he should win. 10-0, 7 KOs, Marjan Akhmadaliev, the WBA and IBF champion. He defeated Danny Roman in a very tough, close fight back in the beginning of 2020, a couple of months before the world shut down, before the pandemic. There was supposed to be a rematch, and I don't know why Danny Roman didn't get his rematch. But he ended up now fighting over on PBC, and well, let's be honest. I like Danny Roman, but this is the type of loss that's going to set him back a little bit, and I'm wondering if he's going to move up the weight, you know, restart, because that stands right now at 122 pounds. He lost to both of the champions. You see what I'm saying? But the problem I have with the Akhmadaliev fight is I don't think it's going to happen. I don't have any faith. PBC don't budge with their fighters. Akhmadaliev would have to come over to Showtime. I don't see a scenario where Stephen Fulton will go over to the zone. I don't see it. And from what Stephen Fulton's been talking about, even when he was asked about the question, you know, it seems like he kind of knows, you know, that shit is probably not going to happen. Or it's going to be like some tough boxing bullshit political hurdles. But it should happen. For the run that he's been on, he can't be denied that fight. Like by nobody. No Al Heyman, not trying to hear none of that loyalty shit. No PBC. For himself, for his family, for legacy. He needs to do everything to push to make sure that fight happens. You see what I'm saying? But in this case, Akhmadaliev's got to come over to the zone. over to Showtime. But if he doesn't, look, what's Stephen Fulton to do? I'm not telling him to shake his ass because he is the A side over Akhmadaliev. But really, he is the clear A side, but it's not like these guys are, like selling out super arenas and shit like that, So it's definitely some huge political hurdles there that have to happen for that fight to happen. But as it stands right now, I think you can place him. If Loma's on people's pound for pound list, then he definitely should be on the pound for pound list because he clearly lost to Teofimo, and he don't got no belt. So looking at Angelo Leo, Brandon Figueroa, Danny Roman, and then just the fact that it's been 5 straight four undefeated fighters before he met a former unified champion in Danny Roman. And remember, Danny Roman was out collecting those belts. Or trying to until he ran into Akhmadaliev. But the point I'm trying to make is I think he should be on pound for pound. But everyone's pound for pound list is going to be different. You have to understand that, and they're all going to be up for debate. Whoever makes their pound for pound lists, people have their different criterias. Now, if it isn't going to be Akhmadaliev, then they got to run the Brandon Figueroa thing back, get that out the way, and then I'm guessing Steve Fulton moves up to 126 pounds, because eventually this guy right here is going to move up, Inoue, and Fulton's name is already being soft linked to Inoue about a possible, significant fight that fans will want to see as far as matching skills at 122 pounds. But me personally, I feel, by the way, in a couple of days on Tuesday, June the 7th, 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, on, as you can see, it's the 5th right now, on ESPN Plus here in the States, okay? Here in the States on ESPN Plus, 5:30 a.m. Eastern, you're going to have Inoue versus Donaire 2. Because it's in Japan, that's why they have it at a time. And also they have their fights on Tuesdays and Wednesdays over in Japan, Asian territories, and in Australia. But Inoue versus Donaire 2 is going to be for the WBC, WBA, IBF titles, and the winner is expected to go on to fight Paul Butler. To try to unify and be undisputed in that division. So right now, Donaire or Inoue, they're not going to be moving up anytime soon, whoever wins between that. If Donaire loses, I expect for him to retire. And if he wins, there'll be possibly a third fight that they'll probably go for, but maybe after an interim, which will likely be going after that WBO to be undisputed before they explore Donaire versus Inoue 3. That's if Donaire wins. So, but right now, Fulton's in a situation where it's time to start, making some real money. Become undisputed or start targeting like significant money-making fights. And if it's not going to be undisputed, then they got to run it back with Brandon Figueroa. That fight has some value. Luis Nery, not so much. It would be a good fight, but it ain't going to really move the needle for real, for the casuals. And then that 126, Leo Santa Cruz, they can start building for that. Or the winner of Ray Vargas, Mark Maxeo. And maybe, depending on what happens in the division, they may, I don't know. Even 126 is going to be political bullshit up there because you see Josh Warrington and Emmanuel Navarrete right there. And that division is somewhat dominated because you got Lee Wood, too, matchroom fighter, somewhat dominated by non-PBC fighters, just like those lower divisions normally are. And then 130, there's significant issues. So, we're going to have to see. I think they need to do what they have to do, in their power to make sure that undisputed happens. Don't let politics get in the way. If not, then okay, Brandon Figueroa. On the undercard, Kalvin Henderson got stopped by David Morrell. Where is it at? What was the results? What round was that? Round number 4. And now, it's heavy rumors that he's going to be going on to fight David Benavidez sometime in the fall. Take your time out, like the video, subscribe. If you haven't, follow me on Twitter at T-Street Controversy. My link tree, which is a link that sends people to all of your social media platforms, is down below in the description box. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on who you want to see Stephen Fulton fight next. Me personally, I think it's got to be undisputed, And then if not, I'll take Brandon Figueroa, because I just know how politics can just get in the way. It's fucked up, but I'm a realist. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.